I need some water because I'm. Can you pass me the water bottle?
I need some also. Some tough questions.
Talking too much. You can chug a whole water bottle in like 3 seconds.
Unofficial world record. I'm really tired of this video. We haven't even started.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a relationship Q&A, and this is my boyfriend.
Hi, I'm Christian.
Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into it. So, question number 1.
Who said I love you first?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember when I said it?
No.
Me neither. I'm pretty sure it was through text.
How long have you been together? Well, we've been together since April 27 of 2018, so a little over 2.5 years. How did you meet? So we actually met. I followed her on Twitter, and then I messaged her. And the first time she kind of like messaged like real dry, and then she kind of didn't really respond back to me.
I was in a phase of my life where I didn't want anything to do with guys anymore.
Yeah,
so
then I think I tried again, and then she kind of like was talking to me, well, still wasn't really interested. And then I think one time she posted looking for a workout partner to do legs or something like that.
I tweeted that I needed like a gym partner because I needed someone to spot me because I was too scared to squat anything more than 25s.
I just decided, hey, you want to go? And then she's like, yeah, let's go. So we met there for the first time. And then, well, from there, we worked out and we kind of talked, and then we kind of saw each other the next day, and then, like, I think 2 days after that.
And the next day, and the next day.
And the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
What's your favorite memory?
One of my favorite memories is we went to Six Flags for my birthday.
For Fright Fest.
During Fright Fest, because my birthday's in October. And it was raining that morning. I thought the day was ruined, and we were kind of like, I was upset, and I was like, should we just go back? And he was like, we'll just go, and if the park is closed or whatever, like, we'll just do some sightseeing or something.
We had already planned it, I think, like over a month in advance.
By the time we got there, it had stopped raining, and like the park reopened, and I guess people thought it was closed because it was raining. So it was like not empty, but it was not full. Like there was hardly any wait in all the lines. So we actually like went through the entire park. We got on all the rides. We went through all the haunted houses.
For me, my favorite memory was the first time we ever went out together. That was within the first same year we met, 2018. It was when I took you to your first concert to go see Lil Uzi. And he's like one of my favorite artists. So we went to go see Lil Uzi in Austin.
I got to touch Uzi, and I have a video to prove it.
It was a really good experience.
Okay, who is more flirty?
I feel like we're more comedians and clowns around each other than flirty. If anything, that's kind of how
I think we're just clowning.
How our dynamic of our relationship is. We're always like cracking jokes and pranking each other and like making each other laugh.
Laughing at dumb things.
Yeah.
How did you know he was the one?
She took one look at me and she's like,
no,
that's the one.
That's kind of a hard question. How did you know I was the one?
For me, it was I've gone out with not a lot of women, but a few, and the few that I've gone out with, I would see there were a lot of like for superficial reasons. Val isn't like materialistic or is impressed by like status or fancy things and stuff like that. And I noticed that she was genuinely just interested in just spending time with me. It doesn't matter if it was like watching a movie at home or going out to eat. Like it didn't matter to her the activity. What mattered most to her was quality time together, and I realized like how much she like really cherished the time together, and I felt like I didn't have to be different around her. I could completely be myself, and I felt like very, very comfortable with her, and I've never felt like that with someone else.
I think for me, when I met him, I was very observant, especially because for the most part, the guys that I had dated before, like we were friends before, and I knew them like from school or whatever. And with him, he was like a completely new person that like I didn't know at all. Like we weren't friends before or anything. Like we just randomly decided to go to the gym, and so I was very observant of him, and he was very respectful. One of the main things that I noticed when we went to the gym, I wore shorts because we were doing legs. And obviously, like, I was squatting and he was spotting me. And I paid, like, a lot of attention to, like, whether he was, like, looking at me or, like, looking at other women. Stop. And he was, like, very respectful, and he wasn't, like, creepy. And, the more that I got to know him, like, he went to church, different things like that. Like, I started to, like, really get to know him, and I was like, I think I like this dude. So yeah. Next question.
This next one is favorite thing about each other. I would say my favorite thing about Val is that she's not like a really girly girl. Not only is she my girlfriend, but she's also my best friend. Like, I'm like constantly sending her like memes and like funny videos and stuff like that. Like, I can joke around with her like all the time. She's not real prissy. Like, she's literally like my girlfriend and like a dude best friend like at the same time. Like, we can go from like having dress up and go to a nice dinner, and then like the very next day we'll be playing like basketball in my backyard or something like that. And she's always like really bubbly and like full of life and full of energy, and she's always like optimistic and in a good mood. And I feed off a lot of what other people give off. So when she's in a good mood, she actually uplifts me too.
The same goes for me. I'm very like, I feed off of like the vibes that people like give off, and he's always like extremely positive. And I feel like when he came into my life, it was like a really good time for like someone positive to be in my life, because I was kind of like in a dark-ish spot, and he was just very positive, and he poured like a lot of light into me, and he poured a lot of positivity into me. And he is not the type of person to stay mad for a long time, which I think is like really important. He's very forgiving. I can scream at him or whatever, and then like a minute later I'm like, I'm sorry that I talked to you like that, babe. He'll be like, I don't like when you talk to me like that. And he'll say something, he'll make like a little remark, and I'll be like, I know, I'm sorry. And then like he's like, okay, fine, whatever. And like he gets over it.
She knows her place. Favorite thing to do together. Well, right now because of quarantine, I guess her favorite thing is just like she'll come over to my house and like we'll just like
I
binge watch
absolutely
Netflix.
love the weekends, because I will go to his house like at 11, 12, 1, and we'll just be there all day watching TV. His dad likes to barbecue a lot and like make steaks and stuff, so we'll watch movies, we'll watch Netflix, we'll watch Hulu. His dad will like barbecue, we'll eat some barbecue. For the most part, we're just home all day, like Saturday and Sunday, and it's really nice to like spend time together.
Yeah. But other than that, like our favorite thing to do together would be like when we get a chance to do like little trips.
So much
but
fun.
like well, because we both have jobs, so like we can't go out for like a whole week at a time. But like if we get to do like a little weekend thing, even if it's a 1 or 2 day thing, like that's like our favorite thing to do. Like little mini adventures is kind of like what we like to do.
What is something you give each other that you lack in other relationships? For sure, security, consistency, and like his ability to, I guess, lead. I am very, I guess, like dominant, kind of like an alpha.
She likes to be the boss, but not with me. No.
Yeah, so that
don't fly.
I have a tendency to like want to take over or like want to take control. I feel like in past relationships where they didn't really take control of the relationship, so I was kind of like the one that was like, you know, after him. And I have never felt like I needed to take control with him, because he's always been very like responsible. He's the one who's on top of me. Obviously I'm pretty like responsible and independent, right? But he has a lot to do with my, I guess, growth as a person. And I feel like that's something that I lacked in like my past relationship, where I had to like be the one in charge, because he wasn't gonna like step up and take that role.
And I think one thing that helps is that a big thing we say we need to have is communication. So when someone's at fault, we'll be like, hey, instead of arguing like little kids or high schoolers, like let's talk as adults. When either one of us is wrong, we sit down and say like, hey, like admit you're wrong. There's no use in being petty about it. If I did something to upset you and you do something to upset me, we're just hurting each other like that. There's no use out of that.
That's actually another thing that I really like about him, the fact that he's really good at communicating. I am kind of like not that great at communicating. A lot of times he has to kind of like force me to sit down and like talk about things. And even like with like being vulnerable, he will open up and like tell me about certain things where I'm kind of more like a little bit closed off. It was pretty bad in the beginning, but he's gotten me to like talk more. But that's like another thing that I like about him, the fact that he can communicate.
As far as who does wear the pants, I do, but it's not like I tell her what to do. There's mutual respect between both of us. Like, if ultimately, like, if she says something or she'll ask me, because she'll have opinions and sometimes I have opinions too, but there's a level of respect to each other. We'll usually consult each other, not because we need each other's permission, but because like if it's a decision that can affect the significant other, then we'll talk it out like that.
Yeah, there are certain things that I want to do, like get a tattoo. I really want another one. And he's like, no, don't do it. You don't. And because he doesn't support it, and I know for sure my parents don't support it,
I hate the first one.
it's kind of just there. And I'm
She
like,
said,
oh
he's
yeah,
like,
I
are you
have
gonna
that.
go with me? It was like earlier in a relationship. He's like, are you gonna go with me? No. And I was like, oh, that's it. She's not going. Then I was like, why aren't you at the gym? Because I'm getting a tattoo. I was like,
Okay, that was one thing he didn't know about me. He thought that because he wasn't gonna go with me, I wasn't gonna go at all. But I was like, okay, then don't come with me. I'm still going on my own. And so I went, and now I have one, and he
I
doesn't
can't
like
believe she
it.
did that.
But we were at the point where he wasn't gonna tell me no
Yeah,
yet.
and then she's like, I want to get another one right here. I'm like, I will literally take you to get it lasered off.
I want one on my bicep. I want one on my spine. I want one on my hip, and he just doesn't. So that's something that I'm like, okay, like obviously we're planning on being together for the long run, and that's like something on my body that's gonna be there forever, and he doesn't like it. So I have made peace with the fact that I am not gonna be getting any more tattoos. Although I really, 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 really want like 3 more.
Okay. Do I plan on popping the question? I do plan to do it. It's sometime in next year. No idea when it's gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell you when. I still don't know exactly when, but that is my plan. We kind of have like our
January.
whole. We kind of have like our whole lives planned. I think the fact that we're having those kind of conversations shows a level of maturity in our relationship.
I think we definitely have kind of like a little map of like how it's gonna go. We just don't know like when exactly, like the timeline and stuff like that.
Have you ever broken up? No, we haven't broken up. I think when we were first together,
I honestly, there was actually like 3 different times where we almost did. Not gonna lie. In the beginning of our relationship, it was kind of like,
the reason was I had never really been in like a serious relationship. It's like my first real relationship with intention of like getting
that's
married.
another thing I really like about him.
And the reason I had never been in one is because I did not want to be in a relationship just for the sake of it. When I date someone, my intention was I plan to be with them, not just stick around for a little bit and have fun. Like that's not my intention. So I kind of had some commitment issues at first. When we were first dating and talking, I knew it was kind of time to start taking it serious.
I made it clear to him that like I was serious and didn't just want to be in it for a while. I was in it like because I wanted to be in it, and it was gonna be my last. And I think that kind of scared him. Did that scare you? That I was so serious.
It was like a
about
wake
it?
up call because she's like, oh, you know what, like if I don't take it serious or show initiative that I do want to be with her, she's gonna walk out.
I kind of had a conversation with him because I kind of like noticed that he wasn't committed. I don't know. I just like saw different little things, and I talked to him about it.
Not committed as in like
He wouldn't devote enough time to me, or I don't know, different little things that like I would notice, and I.
a big thing
told
for me
him.
at first was like PDA.
Oh yeah, we would go to the gym and I'd hug him, and he'd kind of hug me a little bit, and then like kind of push me away.
Yeah, I'd never been like public about being with anyone, especially like showing like affection publicly. So it was kind of weird for me. I didn't do it on purpose. I think it was kind of just like a reaction. Like I had never been used to it. And then when we had the conversation, she kind of told me those things. I'm like, you know what? She's right.
So I think that was one time, and then the second time I was going through kind of sort of like a sad / depression moment in my life, and I know he had it with me. He was trying to be supportive, but I know like
I kind of had to give her like pep talks every day because she was kind of dug herself into like a hole. Like,
I needed a lot of reassurance and a lot of just I don't know what was going on in my mind.
yeah, she went through like a little funk, and at that point I felt like I was more babysitting her and motivating her, having to pick her up more than like us actually dating and enjoying each other. It was more me just like trying to pick
It
her
was
up
more
on
like a
daily
job
basis.
for him.
Yeah.
In other words. And I think he had told me before that he was wanting
Yeah,
to.
I was like, you know what, this isn't. I'm not really enjoying this. But I think me willing to stick through all that, even though it went probably like 2 months, me willing to stick through that meant like, you know what, like I'm willing to go through the highs and lows with her with this. I think other than like those two tests, they might seem negative, but I think they were like milestones in our relationship. We were like, I think you saw that I was serious, and then I committed and stepped up also.
Yeah, I really saw a change in him. Like after I had that talk with him, I just like saw like he just. I don't even know how to explain it. You know how when you just notice things, like I just noticed that he was different with me, and then also he had like helped me through all of that junk.
The big change for me was, since I've pretty much always like been single, my day would revolve around what I want to do. Everything was around my schedule. So when she was like, hey, can you come over to my house, or can you do this and this, it was like a really big inconvenience for me. And so I think the big thing was learning how to, like, you know what, it's not just about me, it's about
I remember
her.
I had a basketball game and he like did not want to go. He was so upset, but like I had gone to his baseball game, so I guess he felt like he had to come.
It was such a chore for me to go. It was like learning to take her feelings and her time into consideration as well. And one way she's changed is knowing, because there's days where I'm like really busy, like with work and other things like that. And she knows like when I'm really busy or have a long day, she knows like, okay, like let me back off a bit. But on the days where like I have a good day or really want to see you, we'll make time for each other and stuff like that. We'll be busy pretty much throughout the whole week, but weekends, like that's like really our quality time. So we like to make the most of that. Here's a go. Who's funnier? Without a doubt, I am.
That is not true.
She had no sense of humor. Well, she was kind of funny, but
what do you mean I was kind of funny?
Before me, you.
I'm a clown.
I'm hilarious.
I made you into that. Okay. First of all, every meme you have is because of me.
That's a lie.
Every like little mannerism you have because of me.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. You've literally become a mini version of me, and you're small, so you're literally a mini me. I think I lured her in with my amazing memes. I have a very extensive collection.
I didn't care for memes, okay?
Yeah, but now on a daily basis we communicate with memes, and like we're always sending like what is
down. Hell,
the stickers on WhatsApp.
Yeah, we're always sending that stuff. And I'll send one, and then like she'll save it and like bring it up like 2 weeks later. I'm like, hey, like you're using all of mine. Like,
he
be
stole
original.
a bunch of my stickers.
Nah.
I got them from the group chat, and you stole them all.
I think we kind of just feed off of like each other's like
downiness.
Yeah, we're always laughing, and I feel like if people were to see us like when we're alone, like behind closed doors, they'd be like, "What the hell are those guys laughing about?" Well, we have like so many like inside jokes. Like we could literally laugh, look at each other, do like a mannerism or something, and laugh for no reason. Yeah, like that. Are you guys opposites?
We're opposites, but we have a lot of similar interests.
Yeah, like she's extremely outgoing. I'm super introvert.
Very loud, very outgoing, very friendly, kind of aggressive also.
Yeah, for me, I'm like pretty chill. So I'm like an introvert. Like I prefer to just stay home and chill and relax. I kind of keep to myself. Like, you know, like I like to hang out with like my closest friends. Yeah, and with her, she's like
very passive. Unless you piss him off, and then
yeah, like with her ideal of like a Saturday would be like going out to like a party with like 50 people. My ideal of Saturday, staying in, like watching movies. Okay,
that's not true though. Like before COVID, I was never like partying and stuff like that. But however, I do like to go out and like have fun. I do.
How do you stay in love? We don't see a relationship like as a chore and trying to maintain it. Like we're literally just best friends. So I think our humor, I think the biggest thing about us is that our humor. Like we make each other laugh so much like on a daily basis. And I think a lot of our interests have kind of intertwined with each other. Mm-hmm. Like she's really gotten into like the things I kind of like the same like taste in music. I got into sneakers because before she would just wear like dirty Vans and Converse. And I was like, she's not going to be wearing that. That's not going to fly. And now she thinks she's got shoe game, but she's still got a ways to go to catch up to me.
I think one of the other really important things, which is another thing that I really like about him, is that I never have to bring up dates or ask to go on a date. Like he'll randomly just be like, I heard of this new restaurant or whatever, like we should go next weekend.
I like to try any new food. I'm a huge foodie.
He likes to dress up and go out, and I think that's really cool.
Do you plan on moving in together?
No.
Not until we're married. As of right now, I mean, she'll be over my house several times a week, but she does go home
I
after that.
just don't sleep there.
Yeah.
But I'm there like all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
Mm-hmm. What was your first impression of me?
My first impression of Chris was, well, we went to the gym, and like he said, I didn't know poop about sneakers.
Or gym, by the way.
I would go to the gym, but I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. I was just there like terrible squat form, squatting 10s on each side.
By the way, I went there because I was supposed to be her spotter, and she was
I
squatting.
almost died.
She was squatting with the 10s. He went 25s, and then I'm like, "You think you can do 45?" Yeah, I could do 45. And she does one rep, and then she tries to go another one, and as she's trying to go up, she gave up on the rep, and she tried to go under it, and I'm still trying to pick her up. So the bar literally was on the middle of her spine.
I don't know how I didn't die or like get hurt. But he was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I was like, "I'm fine."
Yeah, and in my mind, I'm like, I literally came here to spot her, and like, she just felt.
And I almost died.
She felt horribly. Yeah.
Anyways, so my first impression was, first, his picture on Twitter didn't do him justice. I was like, "Oh, this guy's cuter than he looks on his picture." And then the second one was he was wearing Off-White Chicago's, and they had the tag on them. If you don't know Off-White, Off-White is a sneaker brand, and it's really hyped, and they come with like these tags that you're not supposed to take off the shoe. It looks like an industrial tag. And well, obviously he had it on the shoe, and I was like,
in my opinion, I'm like, man, I'm wearing some heat to the gym. Like,
he
she's
thought he
gonna be
looked really
impressed.
good, but in my head I was like, what is this
But
guy
that's
wearing?
she didn't know anything about shoes, so in her mind,
I didn't know what the heck Off-White was, and I was like, why does he have a tag on his shoes? I think I even asked him that. I think like once we had kind of like gotten towards the end of our workout, like we were doing abs and we were just kind of like sitting there on the floor, and I was like, hey, why do you have a tag on your shoes? And he was like, they're Off-White. And I was like,
at the end of the workout, she told me,
like, whatever that means, okay.
I don't know how it came up. She's like, hey, do you like Dragon Ball Super?
No, it's because I had a keychain.
Oh yeah, she had a keychain, and I asked her about it.
A 5-star Dragon Ball keychain.
Yeah.
And yeah,
and I asked her, he's like, oh yeah, I love that show, and I was like, wow, like this girl, like she likes anime. Well, I'm not big on anime. The only one I watch is Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super.
He's not actually into anime. He's only into Dragon Ball.
But
I'm actually into anime.
Anyway, so when she said that, I'm like, wow, she's really into the show. And then come to think, like later on, I would ask her all these questions. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Here we go.
She knows nothing about it. So I always say,
had only seen Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Dragon Ball
and
Z.
half of it.
Dragon Ball.
So I always say our relationship was based on lies, founded on lies.
It was not founded on lies. I actually liked anime, and I liked Dragon Ball Super. The extent of my knowledge was Dragon Ball Super, and that was it. That was my first impression. He's handsome, and he's freaking weird because he has a tag on his shoes. What are some things we argue about? I think, honestly, the biggest thing we argue about is you're being mean to me. I think that's the biggest thing. You're being mean to me. We play around too much.
Yeah, sometimes we take it a little too far.
Yeah, we will literally wrestle and like...
We'll start off like play wrestle,
punch
and then if
other.
she lands like a good blow on me or something, or like punches me a little aggressive, that's it. That's it. I'll go off.
Yeah. Those are all the questions we have for today, guys. So yeah, I guess that's the end of this video.
Thanks for having me, and hopefully the next video I'll show you guys my sneaker collection. Worth a lot better than hers, so.
That was an unnecessary comment. So
Bye.
bye.